Welcome back to Look News. The 2013-2014 Glens Falls Symphony Orchestra season gets underway this weekend in Glens Falls. And here to share more is music director Charles Peltz. Welcome back to Look News, sir. Good to see you.
Thanks, David. Thanks for having me.
It's great to see you back here. The 2013-2014 season gets underway Sunday night. Your first performance. What's on tap?
It does. It's the Tchaikovsky Piano Concerto with Eric Zuber is a highlight of the evening. Eric Zuber is a medalist with the Cleveland Piano Competition, a terrific young American pianist who has played around the world. The Cleveland competition is an international competition. The greatest pianists in the country, in the world, come to this, and he was one of the medalists. We loved his playing, and we have a long-term relationship with them, so that we're always able to have sort of first dibs on their medalists. We liked his playing very much, so he'll play that iconic Tchaikovsky Piano Concerto that everybody loves, and then also a Dvorak Symphony. Everyone knows the New World, but we're going to play the number 6. Which is a different work, very sunny and cheery. We thought we'd give a last bit of sunshine as we head into fall.
Especially on this potentially a rainy weekend,
right,
so it'll be a nice way to brighten up the weekend. You have performances through May, so this is the start of quite a lengthy season. Give me the overview of what's coming up.
Well, we always have a long season. Concerts spread out across the wintertime so that music lovers have a chance to see and hear lots of good things. We have a program in November, on November 10th, which will play the Tchaikovsky, another Tchaikovsky piece, the Pathetique Symphony, and then our principal cellist will play the Elgar Cello Concerto, which is a beautiful work. We're calling that an autumnal concert because both pieces were written by the composers at the end of their lives. Fits the season that we're in as the leaves finally fade and we head into the sleep of winter. There's something autumnal. In December, our children's chorus joins us for our holiday spectacular, which is always a lot of fun. In March 23rd, we have a program of the string orchestra, which is always a favorite of audiences. And then we end the year in May with Prokofiev's Romeo and Juliet, the suite from the ballet, and we'll project above the stage various Shakespearean scenes of Romeo and Juliet from different eras, Edwardian costumes, and then there'll be Elizabethan costumes and modern projections to get a flavor of the timelessness of the music. And of course, Prokofiev's music is very powerful.
And this is all at the Glens Falls High School Auditorium, which is a state-of-the-art auditorium for that high school.
It is. It was renovated a few years ago when it was first built in the late 50s in Glens Falls, which is a very far-seeing, visionary community. They built an auditorium then that was state-of-the-art. And as the centuries turned, it realized that what was state-of-the-art then needed to be upgraded, so they've made it a beautiful auditorium now. And all the programs are in that space. It seats 1,100 people, but we average about 800 people at concerts, so you won't feel like you're the only person in a big... Exactly. You always have people to listen with. And all our programs are Sunday afternoon at 4.
Okay.
And there's always a pre-concert talk that begins between 3 and 3:15.
And you're hosting this pre-concert talk. Is that usually the case? You host all the pre-concert
Well, I host
talks?
them, and sometimes I host them alone, as you may know how that experience is. Sometimes we have a guest artist who is willing to come out and talk, especially if we have a composer. They'll come out and share thoughts. So I act, as do you, as the person to ask the questions and get them to be interesting.
Get them to open up to,
Exactly
to the audience there. This, and I say this in the best way, Glens Falls, Little Glens Falls has a professional symphony orchestra. And it's amazing that a city that size can boast something so great as that.
Well, we're part of a large organization called the League of American Orchestras that encompasses all of the orchestras ranging from little youth orchestras in Modesto to the New York Philharmonic. And as a result, you get a sense of where you fit in that. We discovered a few years ago that as of that point, we were the smallest city in America to have a fully professional orchestra. Now, for those of us who love Glens Falls and think of the Hyde, which is another thing that has no business being in Glens Falls, we don't find that to be too remarkable, but it is remarkable. And the musicians for the orchestra come from, we did some numbers, we have 57 tenured members. About 80% of them to 85% come from within 50 miles, which is the capital region, which in the freelance music business is considered local.
Yeah.
And then we have that other 15% or so who come from New York City or from Boston. And all the musicians are members of the Federation of Musicians, the Musicians Union, which we work together in a very amicable relationship. And all those musicians audition for spots in the orchestra in a very selective and highly regulated process that includes a screen. So myself and other musicians serve on the panel to adjudicate the audition. The performer, the musician, is on the other side of a screen, so we never see them. We don't know their gender. We don't know how old they are. We simply hear them. And if they play well and they win the audition, they go on a probationary period and hopefully will become part of the orchestra. But that anecdote about auditions is just to confirm the fact that this is a fully professional ensemble. So when people come at 4 o'clock to hear this orchestra, they will hear not just music for the community, which lots of groups do that, but they will hear professional artists making music at a very high level, and they're going to hear things and messages that are in that music that were written by the composer because they hoped that they would be performed by artist professionals, and so that's what we provide.
Sounds like a great way to spend a Sunday. Of course, Saratoga Springs known for the Philadelphia Orchestra, the Glens Fall Symphony, keeping the music alive all year long.
Right. Well, you should know that we have many patrons from Saratoga in the wintertime, and increasingly more so. And we are delighted when those folks make that trip up to Glens Falls for the afternoon, because we share more than we're separated. As we're into the 21st century, those old separations should melt away as we realize that both communities have so much to offer to one another, and we hope that everyone takes advantage of that back and forth.
Sounds great. Charles Peltz, the music director for the Glens Fall Symphony Orchestra. Thank you so much for stopping by, sir. I'm sure we'll see you again as the season rolls on.
Thank you, Dave.
Thank you for stopping by. Now, this Sunday's performance is entitled Royal Entrance. It is held at the Glens Falls High School Auditorium with a pre-show talk at 3 p.m. Showtime is 4 p.m., and you can find out more at looktvonline.com.